So, a little bit of like where you're from. Obviously, you mentioned Lime Rock.
Yeah, so I'm from a small town called Thomaston in Connecticut.
Okay.
I'm like 40 minutes from Hartford.
Oh, okay. So, what
Yeah.
what what events do you usually go to out there?
I mainly go to Club Loose. I travel
Club
to
Loose.
Jersey. Yeah, that's like the
Yeah.
main place I run. I used to run at Lime Rock a lot with like
Yep.
Ready Set Drift, but they shut the Lime Rock down, and then I went on to do like some of their Poconos events. But
Yeah, I know that's a pretty popular one out there too.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's the track's sweet. We get to use the NASCAR garages. Like, it's definitely a good time. But when I went and drove Club Loose for the first time, the track's just it's unreal. Like,
Not to mention like the Club Loose environment along with it is
oh
just
yeah,
insane.
it's such a rad environment. Like, my first time there was Sleigh Ride 2015. It was their last event in the season. For some reason, I just
Just
try stuff out their last event,
the
everything. I don't
last
know why.
events.
Yeah,
Usually, oh god, out by us, like the first and the last events are always like the worst, like
yeah,
rainy, snowy, just
yep,
gross events you don't want to go to, but you end up going
yeah,
because
exactly.
uh
Like, it was
it
super cold. Like, it was just miserable.
yeah. So, um, how did your car like become the way it is now compared to like when you first started? Like what were you like first things that you kind of did and like kind of changed?
So basically, I ran just like the stock Chevy 350 for I think like a year and a half.
Did
Just
did you have that like behind like a 4-speed like Bunchy or like T10?
no, I had it behind a T5 behind it.
A T5? Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it
So a
was
little
that. Was,
4-speed.
yeah, the T5 did not last me too well. Once I like got the hang of it, because I ran the stock 350 for, like I said, like a year and a half, and then me and my dad ended up building a 383 stroker for it. Basically, we used the same engine, just bored it
Yeah.
30 over, did the stroker kit, all that. So we, after I
400
got,
crank.
yeah, yep, yep. So after I got comfortable, with the 350 with the smaller power, I was like, I want more. So he's like, all right, let's build this. 383 had, nasty idle. The thing was awesome, but it ate T5s like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, the T5s are like what? They're not like rated to like almost anything. They're
No,
like
even
pretty much they're the best comparison when it comes to like T5s is God, what's the one that the Mustangs have?
it's a T5 as
Is
well.
that
It's
a
just a
T5
four.
too? Yeah.
Yep. It's just
Yeah.
basically I think they're the same internals. It's just a little
Yeah.
bit. I think the case is a little bit different.
Yeah, they just don't like any power or any
No,
torque.
no. I went through 9 of them in one season before I switched over.
On the positive side, they are cheap.
It was $300 to rebuild it, and every single time it was the counter shaft and third gear. It was
Yep.
it was clockwork. As soon as the thing broke, I was like, all right, order a counter shaft, order a third gear, and 2 bearings.
Yep.
But
So after that, you kind of switch it up a little bit. I'm
yeah,
guessing.
so I ran the 383 for, I think, I want to say like 2.5, 3 years, and I mean, I gave that thing hell. That was that was such a fun setup. The thing was a torque monster. I never had it dynoed, so I had no idea what it made, but the thing was just, instantly on limiter, just absolute torque monster. But I ran that for 3 years, and then the last season of that is when I went through those 9 transmissions, and I actually tried. I tried competing with U.S. Drift in 2017, I believe, with the 383, and I did 1 lap at Shenandoah, and I mean, I was pushing oil out of every seal and gasket you could believe, because I mean, my rev limit is 5,400, and I'm
Yep.
trying to push it to keep up with these 1J guys, the LS guys, all this. So
And not to mention 5,400 in like a Chevy like that, or a small block Chevy with that, that's like your idle maxed within
Yeah,
like 2
exactly.
seconds.
Yep. So once I kind of got a taste of like competition and like that higher level of drifting, I was like, all right, we gotta, I gotta do something because this thing's not gonna take the abuse.
Yeah.
I loved it for like the car was an animal. It just abuse and like the higher hours, it couldn't do it. So I ended up cracking the piston ring the second to last event that I was planning to pull the engine out. So, I
Ooh.
mean, I had 3 years with no issues on that engine at all.
That's not
And
too bad though, especially with like,
yeah.
I mean, what do you average like events wise?
Oh, at that time I was probably doing at least like 8 or 10,
It's not
8 or
too
10 a
bad. That's
season.
pretty good.
Yeah, so we were doing quite a bit of driving, mainly 2-day events too. So it was 2 days of heavy abuse on it, but it took it. I mean that thing was a lot of fun to drive. And then because the reason why I went through 9 transmissions because I knew we were changing the setup after that season. So
Yeah,
I was just if I
trying
broke
to
a T5,
limp it
exactly.
along until the end of the season.
I was just trying to make it to the last season, get all of our events around our schedule, and then we were going LQ4.
Yep.
So I
So
mean
you
that.
went LQ4 with a T56, I'm guessing.
Nope. So I went
Really?
LQ4, and I went with a Z32 trans.
Okay, so you went with Collins swap
I
kit
it
or something
was
close to it.
um what was the name of it? It wasn't Collins. It was I forget the brand. I still have it sitting here at my shop. Yeah, I forget. I'd have to look it up what it
Sorry,
is.
man. Don't
But
worry about it.
it's basically the same thing. Just a adapter plate, custom flywheel, and just
Yep.
ran a Z32 clutch. But that thing was great. I mean, I picked it up for $200.
Yeah, that
Super cheap.
those transmissions tend to be pretty good.
Yeah.
So like, uh, you got into the kind of competition side. How did you like that?
I mean, I liked it. It was definitely a lot of fun. But like I said, the first time I competed at US Drift, I mean, I got knocked out first round.
Yeah,
Like it made it. I qualified and then lost the first battle and was out. So I mean, that was kind of a bittersweet taste of competition. But I knew it. I mean, I've always been competitive and everything I did, I've always wanted to like win. So I knew it was something I always wanted to do. But
yeah. And that's usually kind of how quite a few people go. Is this, either they get into it for like just to have fun, party with their friends, and
yeah,
or there's just some competitive people out there that like the
yeah,
competitive side. I see both hands of it.
yeah. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I love the grassroots events. I mean, those you can't beat those. But I knew that I wanted to try to push my skills to that competition level. But I'll choose a grassroots event all day long. You know,
Yeah,
nothing better than just going to the track with all the homies and
just ripping. Yeah,
just no stress. Just get on the track and just jam.